Call the
I,
regular council
I'm
meeting
yes.
of Monday, February the 10th to order. There's a revised amended agenda in front of you with the introduction of a couple of late items. And I'm going to read those out for the sake of those that are at home. Uh, we are introducing, this will be new items under the consent agenda. So item 5C is um, a report for approval, and that is a request for a resolution on behalf of the City of Prince Rupert, the sole shareholder of Prince Rupert Legacy Inc., known as the company, uh, with a recommendation that council affirms the $3.25 million dividend declared December 31st, 2024, and that council authorize the directors to make payment to the shareholder in the amount of $3.25 million. And then secondly, 5D as in Delta, and that's correspondence for approval, a request for proclamation for a Heritage Week from February 17th to the 23rd, 2025. Uh, with those additions, Council, I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Councilors Niche and Councilors 80. Any additions or deletions? All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. I will note that Councillor Randawa is joining us this evening, but this morning, where he is, from India. Thank you, Councillor, for tuning in. All right. It is a moment in the agenda where if there's any members of the public who would like to come and comment on any of the agenda items, you're more than welcome to do that at this time. And there's no rush to the microphone, so I'm going to move on. The consent agenda is comprised of the following. In addition to what I read earlier, the council minutes for approval, minutes of the regular meeting of January 27th, minutes of the committee of the whole of January 27th, report from the manager of communications engagement and social development. It's the communications and social development 2024 year-end update. And then the item 5C, which I mentioned, 5D, the additional item I added, but also the Prince Rupert Golf Club with regards to partnering and operating agreement. And then correspondence for receipt is item E, and it's the North Coast Regional District Board highlights. Recommendation is that all the items on the consent agenda be approved and received as requested. Can I have a motion to that effect? Councillors Forster and Councillors Cunningham. Councillor 80.
Just a question about the correspondence from the golf club.
Yes.
My understanding is that the letter's been sent to us, presumably in the hopes that we will do something.
Yes.
And my understanding is that they would like to reallocate money that is already committed to them. Correct. To a different budgetary purpose. So my question would be, what would be the procedure for us to take in order to get that moving?
So I'm going to go to Dr. Buchan, but I believe that this is waiting for the return of Director Miller to adjust the contract. Is that correct, Dr. Buchan?
Your Worship, if Council is in agreement with the request, that is sufficient on Council's end. We would then simply amend the contract with them and allow them to move those funds.
Excellent. Councillor 80.
How procedurally would we endeavor to find that out?
How about we approve the consent agenda and then make a specific motion on that item? Councillor Niche.
I just wanted to highlight this what's been brought up with Legacy as far as $3.25 million dividend, and just how 10 years ago how Legacy was kind of in its beginnings and was starting out with really nothing, and here we are 10 years later, and this is really benefiting our community and putting money into our budget that would normally be through raising of taxes to get this extra money. So I just want to say it's a great thing to see that when you see the list of all the things that the Legacy contributes to in our budget, it's quite overwhelming if we had to try and find that money in other ways.
Yeah, good comment. Yeah. Councillor Cunningham.
The list that Councillor Nice is talking about, is that gonna be made public so people can actually see it?
Sorry, which?
The list of all the contributions Legacy's made.
Well, the most of it is listed in the budget itself. As we went through the budget, there was, you know, different items labeled as we went through, and that would be the place where people could go look.
It's
that.
not in the budget though, it's just like a grant or
Yeah.
that it doesn't specifically say Legacy.
Yeah.
And I think it should be brought to people's attention where that's coming from.
Director Bombin.
Yes, we're happy to do that. Not a problem.
Perfect. All right. It is an incredible achievement, you know, and I give kudos and credit to the staff and councilors that went before. At one point in time, the inheriting of that, becoming an unwilling owner of the pulp mill site meant that the city of Prince Rupert had about $1 million a year in burn, just protecting the site and keeping up with it. And so what was once a real drain on city resources has become a net positive. Yeah. All in favor of the consent agenda? Any opposed? It is carried. Councillor Adie, I'd entertain your motion.
So I would like to make a motion that we grant the request that's being articulated in the letter from the Prince Rupert Golf Club.
Seconded, Councillor Cunningham. Is there any concern from staff on, is there anything that council needs to be aware of? Dr. Bucket.
No, Your Worship, and we, I think, understood approval of the, that was received for approval, so it's, I think it's already been approved.
Okay.
You know, you can certainly pass it again, but it's a redundant motion. It is, you just approved it.
Ah, there you go. Thank you very much. Okay, you're right. Correspondence for approval. So, motion withdrawn. Thank you. All right, then we will move on with reports. Report from the Director of Development Services with regards to highway road closure bylaws number 3555 and 3556. Recommendation is the council consider this report in regards to highway road closures bylaws number 355 and 3556, and that council directs staff to proceed with public notification for the bylaws number 355 and 3556. Can I have a motion, please? Councillors Niche, Councillors Forrester. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. City of Prince Rupert. Now we're into bylaws. City of Prince Rupert Highway Closure Bylaw number 3555, the aforementioned bylaw. Recommendation that that council give first and second reading to the City of Prince Rupert Highway Road Closure Bylaw number 355. Can I have a motion, please? Councillors Cunningham, Councillors Niche. If just for the sake of those people that are watching at home and may not be aware of what we're doing, these are two road allowances that are tied in with the new middle school build. They're not actually used currently as roads, but they're categorized as roads. And so to be able to assemble the land that's required for the new middle school, this is a process that we have to go through to close those roads officially. All right, all in favor? Oh, yes, Councillor Cunningham.
Just one question. This diagram is very small, and even with reading glasses.
Yes, it's very small.
Yeah, but it's in no way going to infringe on Lisa Walter Drive, is it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I didn't actually see that drive on the diagram.
Yes. No.
It's just lot numbers.
It's quite a ways away, actually, from the Lisa Walter.
Okay.
Drive. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. City of Prince Rupert Highway Road Closure Bylaw number 3556. Recommendation that council give first and second readings to the City of Prince Rupert Highway Road Closure Bylaw number 3556. Motion to that effect. Councillors Forrester, Councillors Adie. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. We now move on to council roundtable. Any comments from Councillor Adie?
I just want to wish all of the basketball players the best. I can, in my head at least, hear the feet rumbling down the court floor at the moment. It's well underway. I hope it is a fun, um, and spiritually moving, and all of the various ways in which this event is important success for all.
Yeah, absolutely. Counselor, Dr. Bucket.
Your Worship, I was just wondering if you might speak to the extraordinary work that our Public Works crew and Jordan in particular have been putting in over the last couple of weeks, dealing with some significant water main breaks with enormous amount of extra time spent.
Yeah. 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 Uh, and DC Ampucci, you may want to comment more specifically, but I was down. How many Sundays ago was it now that the water main blew in front of the middle school? Two weeks ago, 3, and I went down there to have a look, and a crew is working away and doing amazing work, and they and then Jordan came, and the man is working incredible hours, but walks up with a smile and how's it going, and I know he's not alone. I know he's backed up by a great team of people that make that all happen, but and the response for the residents that were cut off, because in order to fix that piece of pipe they had to close the valves at either end, and that cut off water completely. So that meant I think we were delivering bottles of water to each one of those homes so that they at least had water in their home, and that the rec center was open almost immediately so that people could go down for a shower and get cleaned up, and way ahead of the anticipated schedule. Water was restored, the pipe was fixed, and it's not only our crews. I mean, there's contractors that respond along with them who work through the night and just do a great job. I hate to say it, but our people have become really good at through a lot of practice at those quick responses and getting things going, and we rely on them to get us back in business. So thank you to our staff. I don't know if DC Ampucci, you had anything to add, if I missed anything, but
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I'd just like to add that it was a huge staff event that took place there. So Veronica helped as well. She took time out of her personal time to help with delivering notices. Our director of recreation as well was right away opening up our facility and made sure that even if you didn't have an address, you could have a shower and make sure that you were well in advance, have a notice that you can get down there and use the facility. So we have a great team, and they're very dedicated. And thank you for recognizing the team and everyone that pitches in. Thank you.
perfect. Thank you. Councillor Cunningham.
I just noticed we got this Heritage BC proclamation for Heritage Week, February
Yes.
17th and 23rd.
Yes.
Are we going to be? This is a BC proclamation, isn't it?
Yes, it's done through the consent agenda.
Yeah, because one thing that I think we should be looking at is our Heritage Committee disbanded around 5 years ago, 4
Right.
years ago, and there's not one in existence, and there are some people that have shown an interest possibly, so maybe it's something we should look at. We've got some older buildings in town that aren't being protected at the moment, and because of that lack of oversight from the city on it, like, you got Pillsbury House, you've got the Quinitcha Station and things like that. These buildings are all well over 100 years old, plus some of the houses fit into the category too.
Yeah.
So I think it's something we should look at, because once these heritage buildings are gone, they're gone.
Right.
And it's as we get older, we might be declared heritage too. But
All right, we'll make a note of that. Anyone else? I just want to comment as well about the All Native. I, of course, is tradition, attended on your behalf at the at the opening ceremonies. They're fantastic as always. Kit Catlett stepped up. They had to step in at a relatively last minute, I think several weeks in advance, and they just did a great job at that opening ceremonies. So heart moving to see teams from up and down the coast, from Alaska right through down to the lower mainland, and of course from Haida Gwaii all the way over. Our MP was there as he always is, and our new MLA was there and was roundly received as the first Haida to represent this territory, and she addressed the group in Haida, and so it was just a great event, and the whole thing is a great event. I'll also comment that over the last several weeks, I've been traveling more than I'd like to. It goes actually back to the beginning of January, where I attended the BC Natural Resources Forum, but then had an opportunity to meet with a federal minister in Vancouver, do some other work while I was there, and then last week had several very productive meetings with BC ministers, and Dr. Buchan and DCM Pucci were in attendance. And I won't go through the details of what was discussed, but I would tell you that they were very encouraging meetings, and we took the list of things that we're working on, and I would just categorize them as extremely welcoming, and I heard from our MLA that her colleagues commented to her afterwards that they felt that they were productive meetings, and so we continue to do the work to lobby for the people of Prince Rupert on the various files that need to be looked after, some of which are to fix our revenue problems, and some of which are to fix our housing problems, and we just continue to bring those forward, and I've got to tell you that staff do an incredible job. One of the comments that was made, let's give Manager Stewart 2 shutouts in one evening. One of the comments that was made in that meeting was no other community is lobbying like we are, and that our materials in particular stand out. That they're clear, they're concise, they tell the story in an understandable way, and just kudos. We're well supported. The community of Prince Rupert is really well served. And then finally, I'd like to congratulate our colleague here at the table, who Councillor Forrester ran her feet off on Saturday. I was there to witness as she was given the incredible honor of joining the Wolf clan and being given a name. And Councillor, your new name is?
Dusum Gwilhali, which loosely translates to cougar. So
there you go. Wonderful. Congratulations. It's a huge honor. With that, if there's nothing else, Council, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will move that, Mr. Mayor.
Did that come from?
That came from the up here. I've been here this whole time. This is Councillor Skelton Morgan.
Oh, you're not on screen.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I've been here since the beginning. Yo.
Councillor Skelton Morven, thank you for making your
Zoom.
presence known. You are not showing up physically.
Yes, no, I'm over Zoom. I'm in Vancouver right now.
All right. Thank you very much. Motion from Councillor Skelton Morven, seconded by Councillor Forrester. All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you to the two